Wandjina made me. Well, God created us. So Wandjina is like a god.
It's like a spirit that taught our people the wrong and right.
By the Wandjina, they had the laws, the rules, the wunans, and your kinship structure is based on the law of the Wandjina.
I just sort of wanted to do this sort of street art thing, but I wanted to, instead of just doing all random things, I wanted to sort of make some sort of not a statement, but just have something that sort of was a bit different to everything else and something that maybe meant something a little bit different.
There's a time and a place for it. And one place is not in the public eye in Perth. What's his motive? What does he want from that Wandjina?
It'll sort of be good for the Aboriginal people to sort of see their images on land that was once theirs, give them a bit of a sense of ownership.
If it was us painting, that's a different story. But in another way, we shouldn't be painting in another culture place again. That's wrong again. It's not for us to go to our Wandjina in Perth, that belongs to another tribe. Our old people will get maybe upset because they seen Wandjina up there when he shouldn't be over there. It should be over here where it belongs and where it stays.
We lived up north in the Kimberleys for a while when I was younger, and there was one on the station there. We also had like a little one on a slate in the house, and so I've always grown up with one in the house and sort of always known what it was, and it's been very familiar. I've always enjoyed art, like as a kid, did a lot of just sketching on pads and stuff like that. Yeah, I've always had like a bit of a inkling to want to do something, but never really known what to do. That's why maybe the graffiti was like a good sort of anonymous way to try something. Originally I thought it was pretty harmless, but I knew it'd sort of spark a bit of a response from different people for different reasons.
There's no intellectual property law, or whatever they call it, copyright law, to say you can't do this, you can't do that. But we are helpless when people go and abusing those sort of painting, and it hurts us that they can go around and do it and nobody stopped them from doing these wrong things.
If we just lose it, well, our country dies away too. No spirit in it.
Like a lot of white people that would never sort of discuss any of these sort of topics have all of a sudden had to bring it up in group situations, and brings people into that sort of culture which a lot of people don't care about or don't want to know about. I use everything as far as a medium goes or whatever. I did a big Wandjina out of wheat in the city. I mean, I'd even use rocks. I try and use as much different things as I can. Anything that leaves a mark I'll use. And colours, I'll just colours I like and what I've got left in the can.
The paints are important and they have songs in it. Yeah, well, Wandjina is only painted with little bit of black, yellow, red, and white.
Even with us, we just can't just draw it ourselves. It has to have a story behind it and a meaning behind it and a moral to it, you know.
Where are their songs? Where are their poetries? Where are their language that goes with that Wandjina? It's more than just a painting.
Yeah.
It's a whole lifestyle.
So I sort of thought it wasn't such a bad thing, and I wasn't trying to say, oh, this is a Wandjina down in Perth. It was just more of a Wandjina as a recognisable image that people could relate to, and which way they chose to, you know.
Maybe he didn't understand, and nothing wrong with that. If people do things out of ignorance, well, that's accepted. But to go out and do those things and encourage other people to do it when you don't know what it's about, your fault is there. Wandjina belong to the Kimberleys. For the bush, for the cave, not belong to motor car or water tank. You know, it's like they're watering down someone else's culture, making it look as if, oh, anybody can do it. One person may be of good intention. What if 100, what if 1,000,000 people? What if every white person in Australia want to do it?
Yeah, I'd definitely like to speak to the traditional owners and see what their views are, I guess. If they're just sort of like, oh, you really can't be doing this, and that'll be the end of that. But if there is some way of going about getting some sort of permission or something, that'd be awesome, yeah.
Look where he come from and where his family come from. That's where he can find himself then. This is how we got where we are. We've been traced back to where our ancestors, you know. So if he traced back from where his family from, he'll get what he's looking for.
Just out of respect, I won't do them until I speak to the traditional owners.
You should come back, you should, come and say, look, sorry for doing that. I didn't know about it.
Go through the law. If you want it, go through the law. You can't just take it without making some sort of sacrifice.
I descend from the Bardi people from One Arm Point and the Jubba Jubba people from Winnowell in the Kimberleys. I also have European background, can you tell? Coming from the Kimberleys, knowing that it was completely out of context. I don't know, there's something that made sense for me about doing this idea, something contemporary, not just sad stories and old stories, but something right now. I arranged to go up to Mowanjum, which is just outside of Derby, and spoke to Donnie Woolagudja about getting permission, who's an elder there. And I felt very honoured to be given permission and be allowed to go into this territory. Well, I first saw the Wandjina on a tree down here in Mount Lawley Underpass, and I was always going to try and find out who was doing it because I was too curious and wanted to know what their motivations were. It took me 6 months to find him. So I was looking in the wrong places for the person. And they actually were closer to me, closer than I thought the whole time. I made an assumption really early on that he was a part of graffiti crews or part of the hip-hop scene. I don't know, meeting him was really exciting and really interesting just to find out what his reasoning was.
So I sort of thought it wasn't such a bad thing, and I wasn't trying to say, oh, this is the Wandjina down in Perth. It was just more of a Wandjina as a recognisable image.
No, he's a creative person, so I don't know how I feel about it because it's a mixed up thing. I don't know, though. I know it's wrong. Don't ask me that question, man, because it's always confronted me.
For the native title claim, to set them apart to show that one
I feel sorry for all the players. I just want to respect and honour them all equally. I mean, the reason that because this guy did not want to make this doco, and I pushed and pushed and pushed, because I knew this was his opportunity to rectify the situation. Otherwise, you know, it would always be misconstrued and it would just continue to spiral. I mean, I like the idea of exposing our need for culture. This graph guy, who's a Gadian, non-Indigenous person, he's reaching out for culture. I was hanging out with hip-hop people and graph people, so they've created their own culture. They create their own little urban thing, and then I go up to countrymen up north, and they obviously have had it for, 100 centuries, strong and old. People have to be able to separate culture and art, and that some things have religious significance and some things are purely aesthetic. So it's exciting to know that this is going to help people understand more about Indigenous culture. It's quite a provocative time.